understand that we living under the New Testament, man?
Jesus came and fulfilled the Old Testament, though.
Jesus came to
He
fulfill
fulfilled
the Old Testament. But you under a new covenant now.
We're going to deal with that.
Do you understand? Do you understand that you under a new covenant?
Yeah, we're going to deal with that.
Yeah. But do you understand that?
Yeah, we understand that.
Okay.
The book of Galatians says don't live under the old law.
Do you live by the old or do you live by the new?
I'm going to give you the answer.
I'm asking you. I don't know. Don't tell me.
We're going to read it out.
I'm asking you a question.
I'm gonna give you this right here, what God said. We will leave our name. Watch this.
Isaiah chapter 65 and verse 15. And ye shall leave your name for a curse.
Our last name was Israel. It was given to us in the book of Genesis chapter 32 verse 28. Our last name should be Israel. Come on, but we will leave that for a curse. Come on.
And ye shall leave your name for a curse unto my chosen. For the Lord God shall slay thee and call his servants by another name.
That's why our last names is Johnsons, Williams, Brooks, Page, all of these things that we left God's name for a curse, meaning Israel, meaning a prince has thou power with God. We leave that for more.
They show you that in roots.
They show that in roots.
Asian black man. Mind if I get something right quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
You get 2 Maccabees 6. Because I don't know if you heard this earlier. You remember with Kyrie, Nick Cannon, and what's the wide receiver? What's his name?
Deshaun Jackson.
Remember what happened to them when they came out and said, you know, I'm an Israelite, I'm a Jew, I'm a black Jew? Remember what happened to them?
I heard something about it.
So it was public backlash. Some people lost their jobs, lost their businesses. Nick Cannon lost his show for a while.
So they suspended Kyrie for like half the season.
Suspended Kyrie for half the season. He was threatened with losing contracts. So let's see that as a prophecy that happened to us back in Rome too.
6 and what?
6 and start at verse 1, then jump to 6.
2 Maccabees chapter 6 verse 1.
Uh-huh.
Not long after, the king sent an old man of Athens to compel the Jews to depart from the laws of their fathers.
So we was told to leave the laws of our forefathers, following the commandments, you know, praising to the Most High God, and we was forced to do Greek sacrifices unto Zeus and Hercules and all those wicked gods. Jump to verse 6.
Verse 6.
Uh-huh.
Neither was it lawful for
So
a man.
neither was it lawful, so the laws in the land at that time.
Neither was it lawful for a man to keep Sabbath days.
So we couldn't keep the Sabbath day. We couldn't even follow our own religion or what else?
Or ancient feasts.
Or any feast days like the Sabbath day, the new moons, the Passover.
Or to profess himself at all to be a Jew.
Or we couldn't even say we was a Jew. It was against the law. It's like today, we come out and say we're Jew, we're getting blackballed.
Any famous guy to come out and say that he's a Jew, they're going to cancel him. What they do with Kanye West? Kanye West came out there and said, we the Jews. They canceled him.
Quick.
Hey, so that's happened several times over history. I got this book right here. And then I'm going to give them to read a little bit of it. If you look at this book right here, this is a reprint. We use these a lot of times to show. This is a lot about hidden history. This book was originally printed in 1887. So we call these white eyes only because they're not meant for us to read. But just like he read there in the time of the Maccabees, this happened in the 1400s right here. So actually this is 681. Right here, read that right there.
Okay, so this is the Jews and Moors in Spain, page 95. The 12th Council of Toledo, 681, far surpassed its predecessors in the cruelties of the enactments. The preamble complained that the crafty Jews...
So they calling us crafty Jews because, you know, we always find a way to get around stuff. Even if you look at like in jail, brothers can make all kind of hookup meals and everything. We always got a way of doing, you know, we like real creative when it comes to doing things. Watch this.
The crafty Jews had eluded all former laws, and then decreed that hereafter 100 lashes would be inflicted upon the naked body. And after that, the offender would be put in chains, banished, and his property confiscated for any of the following offenses.
So now they would take your property, give you 100 lashes, and sell you off into slavery for doing what? Watch this.
For rejecting the sacrament of the Lord's Supper.
You know what that is? That's Easter. So if you didn't celebrate Easter, which is a pagan holiday, you would get 100 lashes, get your property taken, and get shipped off into slavery. Watch this.
For not bringing children or servants or dependents to baptism.
So this is trying to force you into what they got white man Jesus or Christianity. Watch this read.
For the observing Passover and the new moons.
Because our forefathers kept the Passover and the new moons, read.
And the Feast of Tabernacles for violating the Christian Sabbath.
So what's the Christian Sabbath? The Christian Sabbath is what day? So what day is Chick-fil-A closed on? So what day is God's Sabbath? Saturday. Saturday. So if you didn't observe Sunday and you kept the actual Sabbath, you got 100 lashes and you got sold off into slavery.
Or the great festivals of the church.
So any parties that the church had was a way for you to be banished off. So now what we're showing our people is that, so like a lot of traditional churches, what did they just finish celebrating? Christmas. So is Christmas a holiday that we supposed to celebrate? What do y'all think? Y'all think we supposed to celebrate Christmas? Or not? You don't know? What about you? What do you say?
We celebrate Christmas. I'm not. Yes, sir.
I got that. But I'm saying, should we though?
Y'all keep doing what y'all do,
Yes,
man.
sir.
Should we celebrate Christmas?
Yeah, based on the Bible.
No, we should.
I'm asking my man though. What do you say? Just give me your honest opinion. You think we should? Okay, so go to Jeremiah 10. Let's see.
Oh my goodness.
Jeremiah chapter 10 verse 1. Hear ye the word of the Lord, which speaketh unto you, O house of Israel. Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen.
So God says, learn not the way of the heathen. Because who taught us Christmas?
Jeremiah is in the
Old Testament.
Old
Yeah,
Testament.
that's
Old
right.
Prophet.
But I'm saying, who
So-
taught us Christmas?
I
Because
mean,
we couldn't read it right.
No.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to knock what you saying.
Yeah.
But the Old Testament is what you reading from right
Yeah,
now.
that's right.
Don't cut down the tree and decorate it in silver and gold.
I'm not disputing nothing nobody said.
Yeah, I got you.
But the Old Testament is the Old Testament.
So what does that mean?
Do you understand that we are living under the New Testament now?
Jesus came and fulfilled the Old Testament, though.
Jesus came to
He
fulfill
fulfilled
the Old
That's
Testament.
a whole-
But you under a new
Okay,
covenant
so
now.
we're going to deal with that.
Do you understand? Do you understand that you under a new covenant now?
Yeah, we're going to deal with that.
Yeah. But do you understand that?
Yeah, we understand that.
Okay.
The book of Galatians says don't live under the old law.
do you live by the old or do you live by the new?
I'm going to give you the answer.
I'm asking you. I don't know. Don't tell me.
No, we're gonna read
No,
it
no.
out.
I'm asking you a question. Do you live by the old or do you live by the new?
I live by what Christ said.
No, I'm asking you a question.
And I'm going to answer what Christ's word, because this is what Christ told me to do.
Is that from the new or from
It's
the old?
from the New Testament, Matthew 4:4.
Matthew chapter 4 verse 4. But he answered and said, it is written, men shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of God.
So Christ said we live by every word. That's Old and New Testament. Go to 2 Timothy 3 and 15 and 16. So let's see what Paul said. After Christ, let's see what Paul said.
2 Timothy chapter 3 verse 16. All scripture is given by
Hold on,
inspiration.
just the New Testament. Read it
All
again.
scripture is given by inspiration of
Read.
God and is profitable for doctrine, for reproof, for correction, for instruction in righteousness, that the man of God may be perfect, thoroughly furnished unto all good works.
So Paul said all scripture, meaning Old and New Testament. So what we got to understand is what we see today where it says New Testament, that's just something that the scholars put in place as far as a dividing factor of the Bible. Because when Christ came on the scene, they just labeled that New Testament. But if you want to say what is the actual New Testament, the actual New Testament is after Christ died. So then that would mean that the first majority of Matthew, Luke, and all of that would be considered Old Testament. If you go by that standard, if that's what if that's what somebody that's in Christianity is saying, because the New Testament don't start until after Christ died. So you would have to go all the way to Matthew 26 to actually be in the New Testament, if that's how you want to define that. So anything written before that, we would basically say is done away with. Then that would just leave us with Matthew's 27, Matthew's 28, the end of Luke, the end of John, and Paul's letters, and that's not what God is saying. So what we got? So going back to going back to Jeremiah. That's why we got to finish up on Jeremiah, because Christ quoted Isaiah, he quoted Jeremiah, he quoted all the old prophets. He didn't say. Matter of fact, go to Luke 4 and 16. Let's see what Christ was doing. Let's see it, because we're supposed to follow Christ, right? Okay, so let's see what Christ was doing.
You should tell them about Jeremiah 23 and 10 too. What would your pastors
We're gonna get to that.
who lead my people out of my
Yeah,
path?
right there.
Luke chapter 4 verse 16.
Watch this right here.
And he came to Nazareth, where he had been brought up.
So Christ went back to his hometown where he was raised.
And as his custom was, He went into the synagogue on the Sabbath day
Watch this.
and stood up for to read.
What do you read?
And there was delivered unto him the book of the prophet Isaiah.
So if I'm a follower of Christ, I got to do the same things he did. He read out of all of the prophets and all of that back in the day. So right now we're going back to Jeremiah 10. Read that, Jeremiah 10. And then I'm going to show you what the scholars put together regarding Christians.
Jeremiah chapter 10 verse 1. Hear ye the word which the Lord speaketh unto you, O house of Israel. Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the
So
heathen,
God says, don't learn these customs. Read.
and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven.
Watch this.
For the heathen are dismayed at them.
Watch this.
For the customs of the people are
Meaning
vain.
a waste of time for you to do that.
For one cutteth a tree out of the
So
forest,
one of their customs that they did back in the Babylonian time is they would cut a tree out of the forest.
the work of the hands of the workmen with the axe.
Keep reading.
They deck it with silver and with gold.
So they would decorate that tree with silver and gold. So what holiday is that today? Where you cut down a tree and you decorate it with silver and gold. What holiday is that? That's Christmas. So go back to verse 2.
Verse 2, thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the
So
heathen.
God says not to do that. So now when we go, let's go to Malachi 3 and 6. This is what we got to understand. We say, because that's Christianity where they say, don't read the Old Testament. We don't deal with Christianity. Christianity is a lie. So that's what we're here to prove. Read that.
Malachi chapter 3 verse 6.
Christianity is a lie. Sunday worship is a lie. Like we just read that Christ kept the Sabbath on Saturday, which is the first day of the week. In Christianity, what day do they worship on? Sunday. So if I'm supposed to follow Christ and I'm supposed to mimic everything that he did, what holiday, what worship day should I be attending?
You're saying Saturday.
That's what the Bible's saying. Because he left an example. Let's get this real quick and then we're going to go to 1 Peter 2.
Malachi 3 verse 6. For I am the Lord, I change not.
God don't change. So now let's go to where we said we're going to go.
What Bible are you reading?
It's King James.
King James.
Yes, sir.
Verse 3. And hereby we will know that we
Yeah, 2 Peter 2:21. That's cool. We got an extra one here. Somebody got it.
I have one.
Yeah, you got one. So watch this right here. So this is what we're instructed to do.
2 Peter chapter 1 verse 20.
Yeah, watch
Verse
this.
20.
No, 2:21.
2 and 21. 2 Peter 2 verse 21.
1 Peter 2:21. Watch this right here.
1 Peter chapter 2 verse 21. For even hereunto where ye were called,
So listen up. Watch this.
because Christ also suffered for us, leaving us an example, that ye should follow his steps.
So how would we know whether we were following the Antichrist or the actual Christ of the Bible? We would have to go into the Bible and see what the Christ of the Bible did versus what we're doing, right? So today is the Sabbath. So everybody going to church. What day do most people go to church on? What about you, bro? What do you say? What day do most people go to church on? Sunday. Sunday. Okay, so let's see. So now Christ left us an example, right? We're supposed to follow and do what he did. So let's see what he did. Go back to Luke.
Jehovah's Witnesses, they go on what, Saturday too?
Nah, not Jehovah's Witnesses. They don't go on Saturday. I don't think. I don't know. Jehovah's Witnesses don't do nothing the Bible says. That's one thing I do know. Watch this right here.
Luke 4 and verse 16. And he came to Nazareth where he had been brought
So
up.
Christ went back to his hometown where he was raised.
And as his custom was,
Meaning he routinely did this.
he went into the synagogue on the Sabbath day and stood up for to read.
So what day did Christ go to church on? Based on what we just read. What day?
Read it again. I'm sorry. I can make sure.
Read it again. Watch that. No,
He went into the synagogue on the Sabbath day.
So what day did Christ go? Saturday. So if we supposed to follow Christ, what day should we go to church on? If we following Christ, what day should we go to church on?
From what that's saying Saturday. Right?
It's saying Saturday. Okay. So why did Christ go to church on Saturday?
You tell me why.
Leviticus 23 and 3. Because this is how, in Christianity, if you go to your pastor and you say, show me the scripture where we're supposed to go to church on Sunday, which I have done. Nobody can go into the Bible and show you that. Understand that that's a man-made custom. So read that.
Leviticus chapter 23, verse 3. 6 days shall work be done, but the 7th day.
So when you look at your calendar, the first day on the calendar is Sunday. So you go Sunday through Friday. So the 7th day is what? Saturday. Read.
But the 7th day is the Sabbath of rest.
Watch this.
And holy convocation.
A holy what?
Convocation.
Convocation means gathering. So you're commanded to gather on that day. But from the Pope, this is what we got this book right here, the two Babylons.
You at right now?
Leviticus 23, verse 3.
Verse 3.
That's it.
That's one of the Ten
That's in the old.
Commandments.
That's in the old.
Yeah, that's in the
You
old.
say what?
Leviticus 23 and verse 3. That's one of the Ten Commandments. So what a lot of people don't know is that when you read Sabbath, so like when you read in the Ten Commandments, thou shalt not commit adultery. That one law covers bestiality, what is it when you homosexuality, all of those sexual laws. So like incest, all of that falls under adultery. So it don't list that when they say, it just say don't commit adultery, but that all falls under that one law. So now when you read the Sabbath, a lot of people think that's just Saturday. It's not just Saturday. So I'm gonna give you another Sabbath. Go to John 10 and 22. Because what holiday did everybody just celebrate? Christmas and New Year. So we just read in the Bible that according to the Bible, you ain't supposed to celebrate Christmas. So now if we following Christ, what holiday did Christ keep in the wintertime? I'm gonna ask you, what do you think? You said what holiday did Christ celebrate in the wintertime? What do you think he celebrated in the winter? Because remember, we're supposed to model our lives after Christ. So what holiday did he celebrate? What do you think? What holiday in the winter did Christ celebrate? In the winter. In the winter, yes.
Strong drink. So you even bought some Hennessy.
What holiday you think he celebrated in the winter? Jesus Christ. Okay, we're gonna read it. Get that.
John chapter 10, verse 22. And it was at Jerusalem, the feast of the dedication.
You know what the holiday, the feast of the dedication is? You know what holiday that is?
At the end of 3 years.
So that's what it is.
So now I'm gonna tell you why most of you don't know it.
You say John what?
10:22. It was a feast of dedication. Read.
And it was winter.
It was what was the season?
Winter.
Read.
And Jesus walked in the temple in Solomon's porch.
So that holiday is Hanukkah. So Jesus was celebrating Hanukkah. That's the holiday that we supposed to celebrate. So just like right now, we celebrate what holiday? Easter, right? In the spring. Did Christ celebrate Easter? Did Paul celebrate Easter? No. So when we go, you made the comment about the Old Testament. The prophets in the Old Testament taught the same thing that we're supposed to teach today. So when we go to Jeremiah, go back to Jeremiah 10.
I'm in King James Version.
That's right. John 10:22.
John 10:22 it said, and it was at Jerusalem, the feast of the dedication, and it is winter.
That's right. That's Hanukkah. Dedication because they rededicated the temple. Hanukkah is just a Yiddish word or a Hebrew word for dedication. That's what that is. So read that.
Like Jeremiah 10.
So you say
Jeremiah 10.
you terminate Hanukkah.
There you go, right there.
Hanukkah.
So that's a feast of dedication.
Okay, that's what I'm just.
Yeah, so that's the holiday that he celebrated. So now me as a Christian, a true Christian or a follower of Christ, I'm going to do what Christ did. So Hanukkah is an 8-day holiday. But we're going to show you the history books. It's like I was showing the brothers because y'all just coming in. But this is some of these history books, like this is a reprint. This book is written in 1887. This is where we got cut off from our history. That's your man right there?
No, I'm coming right back.
Okay, so this is a classic reprint. These are books that they don't really intend for us to write, but they show us how we got cut off from our history. This is a period called the Dark Ages when this book was written. This is when we ruled Spain. So now we're going to read Christmas again. Read Christmas.
Jeremiah chapter 10, verse 1. Hear ye the word of the Lord, which speaketh unto you, O house of Israel. Thus saith the Lord,
I left my
learn not the way of the heathen.
They say what?
Learn not the way of the heathen.
Watch this.
And be not dismayed at the signs of heaven.
So God is saying, don't learn these things and don't be dismayed at the sign of heaven, because you got a lot of people that's into what? Astrology and all of that type of stuff. The signs and all of that. Watch this.
For the heathen are dismayed at them.
Watch this.
For the customs of the people are vain. For one cutteth a tree out of the forest.
So one of these customs that you're not supposed to do, you cut a tree out of the forest.
The work of the hands of the workmen with the axe. They deck it with silver and with gold.
So what holiday is that when you cut down a tree and you decorate it with silver and gold? What holiday is that? So what did God say to this?
Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen.
So God say don't do that. So if we follow in Christ, because when we go to Matthews real quick, 24 and 5. This is what we gotta. Because what color do they say Christ is? Like, I'm gonna ask the young man right here. Who's this right here? Young man, who's that right there? Who's that? Who's that right there? Everybody say that's Jesus, but that ain't Jesus. And nowhere in the Bible can you read of somebody that look like that. But watch this right here.
Who's that to you?
That's Caesar Borgia. That's a real man named Caesar Borgia. Painted in the image of what they call Christ, but Christ is a black man according to the Bible. We're gonna read that. Read that.
Matthew chapter 24 and verse 5. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many.
So right now, this man right here is claiming to be Christ, right? So Christ by default is a Jew or Israelite, correct? Is a Jew. So now let's go to Revelations 2 and 9. Let's see what Jesus Christ warned us about this guy right here. Let's see what he said.
Revelations chapter 2 verse 9. I know thy works and tribulation and poverty.
So who's in tribulation and poverty? That's us. The people that's in Israel, they ain't in tribulation and poverty. They get reparations and everything from America still. Keep reading.
But thou art rich.
But we're rich because the Bible actually belongs to us. But watch this.
And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan.
So he's letting you know the people that's calling themselves Jews, they the devil. Watch this. It said the synagogue of Satan. Keep reading.
Verse 10.
Yeah, read.
For none of those things
It said, don't fear none of these things
which thou shalt suffer.
Because didn't Kyrie suffer when he came out and said, we the real Israelites, we the real Jews? What about Kanye? When he said that, they came after him. Watch this.
Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison.
So it says, the same synagogue of Satan, he is also called, and the devil shall throw some of you into prison. So now, somebody might say, well, that's how you interpreting that. You saying the white man that's saying he is a Jew is Satan and the devil. That's what Christ is saying. And I'm going to show you in this book right here that our forefathers said the same thing. Because who gave us Christmas and Easter and all and Sunday worship? Who gave us that? We couldn't read it right when we got here, so who gave it to us? The white man.
What is a nation? Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is men leading by example. Nation is women's support. Nation is children with role models.